Tonight, you're going to climb into bed, pull the blanket up, and without thinking, slide your hands between your legs. You won't notice. You never do. It happens in the dark, sometime after your eyes close and before the world disappears. Your body makes a decision your conscious mind never approved. And somehow, it feels exactly right. But why? Why does your body, after millions of years of evolution, after building cities and writing poetry and sending machines to Mars, still choose to sleep like that? Like something small and cold and afraid of the dark? The answer reaches back further than you think. Further than beds. Further than houses. Further than fire. Your sleeping body is not the modern version of you. It is an older version. A version that remembers things your waking mind has completely forgotten. Start with temperature. Your hands are one of the most thermally active parts of your body. They lose heat faster than almost any other surface. When you sleep, your core body temperature drops by almost 2 degrees Fahrenheit. That is not a malfunction. That is the system working perfectly. Your brain is deliberately cooling itself down to initiate deep sleep. But your hands? Your hands did not get that memo. They go cold fast, too cold. And cold extremities do not just feel uncomfortable. They actively disrupt the process of falling asleep. Dr. Kurt Kreutzsche at the University of Basel spent years studying the relationship between hand temperature and sleep onset. What he found was striking. People who fall asleep fastest are the ones whose hands warm up most quickly in the early evening. Warm hands signal to the brain that blood is being redistributed away from the core, which is exactly what needs to happen to trigger sleep. But if your hands get too cold, that signal breaks down. So your body solves the problem the only way it knows how. It tucks your hands somewhere warm. Between your thighs is one of the warmest pockets on your body. Two large muscle groups sandwiched together, generating and trapping heat. You are not being strange. You are being efficient. But temperature is only the beginning. There is something else happening. Something older. Think about the position itself. Hands between the legs, knees slightly bent, body curled inward. What does that shape remind you of? Think about every small mammal you have ever seen sleeping. A cat, a dog, a squirrel. They all do some version of the same thing. They tuck their most vulnerable parts inward. They make themselves small. They protect their core. This is not a coincidence. This is inheritance. Dr. Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist and sleep researcher at the University of California, Berkeley, describes human sleep as a profoundly ancient biological state. The brain during sleep is not resting. It is doing some of its most important work. And to do that work safely, it needs the body to be still and the threat level to feel low. For hundreds of thousands of years, the way to achieve that was to take up less space, to hide. Your ancestors did not sleep in beds with locked doors and alarm systems. They slept in the open, on the ground, in trees, in shallow caves. Every night was a negotiation with the dark, and the dark had teeth. Curling inward was not a comfort habit. It was a survival strategy. A sleeping human who sprawled out exposed in every direction was a vulnerable human. A sleeping human who tucked their limbs in, made themselves compact, and kept their core protected had a slightly better chance of waking up at all. That strategy got wired in, deeply wired in. And your hands, specifically, hold a disproportionate amount of that ancient anxiety. Your hands are tools. They are how you fight, how you build, how you signal, how you survive. Anthropologists have noted for decades that the human hand is one of the most cognitively expensive body parts to maintain. A huge portion of your brain's motor cortex is dedicated to hand movement. More than your torso. More than your legs. The hands are precious. And precious things get protected. When you slide your hands between your legs at night, you are not just warming them. You are sheltering them. You are placing your most valuable tools inside a warm, enclosed space where nothing can reach them. Your body does not know there is nothing to reach them. Your body does not know about the locked door or the quiet street outside. Your body only knows what it has always known. Protect the hands. Protect the core. Make yourself small. Survive the night. There is another layer here that almost nobody talks about. Touch itself is regulating. Your nervous system does not switch off when you sleep. It continues to monitor your environment, looking for threats, checking in. And one of the fastest ways to tell your nervous system that everything is okay is to feel something. Specifically, to feel pressure, to feel contact. This is why babies calm down when you hold them. This is why weighted blankets work. This is why people who sleep alone often end up curled around a pillow without ever deciding to do it. The sensation of something solid against the body tells the nervous system a very simple thing. You are contained, you are held, you are safe. When your hands rest between your thighs, you are giving yourself that signal. The pressure of your own legs against your hands creates a feedback loop of reassurance. Your skin sends a message to your brain. The brain reads it as contact. Contact reads as safety. Safety reads as permission to go deeper into sleep. Researcher Tiffany Field at the University of Miami's Touch Research Institute has spent her career documenting what happens to the body in the absence of touch. Her findings are consistent. Humans deprived of physical contact show elevated cortisol, disrupted sleep, higher rates of anxiety and depression. Touch is not a luxury, it is a biological need as fundamental as food or water, and when you have no one else to provide it, your body quietly, without asking permission, provides it for itself. That is what you are doing in the dark. You are holding your own hand. Think about that for a moment. Every night, without knowing it, you reach for comfort the same way a child reaches for a parent. Not because you are weak, not because you are strange, but because you are human. And being human means carrying millions of years of need inside a body that still does not fully believe it is safe. There is also the question of symmetry, of balance. Your body craves bilateral symmetry during sleep. Both arms mirrored, both legs aligned. Sleep researchers have noted that asymmetric sleeping positions are associated with more restless sleep and more frequent repositioning throughout the night. The body keeps trying to correct itself back toward balance, and hands tucked together between the legs achieve exactly that. Both hands in one place, the body centered, the weight distributed evenly, the system satisfied. You are not just warming your hands or protecting them, you are balancing the whole system. And then there is the final piece, the one that ties all of this together. Vulnerability. Sleep is the most vulnerable thing you do. Every single night you lose consciousness. You lose motor control. You lose your ability to respond to threat. You become, for 6 to 8 hours, something that cannot defend itself. And your body knows this. Every mechanism described here, the temperature regulation, the curling inward, the tactile self-reassurance, the symmetry, all of it is in service of one goal. Getting through the night. Making the transition from waking to sleeping feel survivable. Convincing the ancient part of your brain that it is okay to let go. Sliding your hands between your legs is part of that permission. It is a physical signal. I am contained. I am warm. I am protected. You can rest now. Your brain receives that signal. And it does. You are not doing something strange tonight when you climb into bed and your hands find that familiar space. You are doing something your ancestors did. Something their ancestors did. Something that goes back to the first warm-blooded creatures that ever had to survive a cold night without shelter. You are ancient, and ancient things know how to find warmth in the dark. Tonight, when the lights go off and the world goes quiet and your hands slide between your legs without asking, you will know exactly what that is. It is not a quirk. It is not a habit. It is memory, carried in the body. Older than language, older than fire, the oldest kind of comfort there is.